And it's the final game of the MLK Minnesota Fury Classic at the Butler Center here at St. Catherine University. Mike Peden here with Sam Wagner. And this last one should be a doozy. The Eden Prairie Eagles and Rosemount Irish. Such a big matchup, Sam's at a loss for words.
Sorry?
I said such a big matchup, you're at a loss for words, but
yeah.
I forget. It's kind of loud in here.
Yes. We are in for a good one here this evening as they introduce our starting lineups, and the fans are getting loud.
They are indeed. Now, Eden Prairie under 500 at 7-8, but don't let that fool you. They've lost some close ones to top 10 teams in Class 4A, Park Center and Centennial. They lost to De La Salle, the defending Class 3A state champions, played Wayzata to the end. And played well against Hopkins, couldn't hang with them. But this Eden Prairie team, folks tell me, they can play with the best, but they can also sometimes drop some games you don't expect. This team can be a little unpredictable. That being said, they have a lot of talent.
Yes, definitely a lot of talent. A couple of high scorers, Natalie Mazurek averaging almost 14.3 a game this season, and still ranked number 15 overall.
Here are the starters for the two teams. EP the visitors. It will be Destiny Bursch, Molly Lenz, Natalie Mazurek, Nneka Obiazor, and Nia Holloway. Rosemount will start Helen Staley, Tia Leendertz, Ivory Finley, Larissa O'Neill, and Taylor Janssen.
Taylor Janssen also averaging nearly 15 a game this season at 14.9, the senior leader of the squad.
And with Rosemount, Taylor Janssen going to Montana State. Picked up 20 in perhaps Rosemount's biggest win of the season when they knocked off Farmington. And Farmington was number 3 in the Class 4A rankings at the time.
Yeah, big win there.
Well, and this could be the year Rosemount finally gets to state. They lost a close one with Eastview last year. It was a 1-point game, came down to the very end.
With returning seniors and a high-scoring starting lineup, it could be the year.
This could be the year, but we've got a big game with Eden Prairie. Lake Conference against South Suburban. That's Nneka Obiazor winning the tip. Obiazor wearing number 30 instead of her usual number 1. Rosemount returned all but one figure from last year's team. They won 10 of their last 11 games. That one loss coming to Eastview. And this is Molly Lenz.
The Irish starting out in the 2-3.
There's Destiny Bursch. She transferred from Chaska. 3 on the way. Does not drop. Rebound, and Obiazor with the nifty move down low.
Little pump fake and go to the other side of the rim. Nice finish.
Nneka Obiazor, 2 games with 20 points or more. 1 double-double. Three on the way, does not drop for Tia Leendertz. And I apologize if I don't get pronunciations right. Didn't have time to go over it with the coaches with the nature of this event. There's Nia Holloway.
Molly Lenz gets herself in a tough spot with the dead ball, but we're reset. Eden Prairie just passing around the perimeter, can't seem to find the hole in the zone.
Obiazor, top of the lane. In the high post there. Now she goes low. Got it. Lenz with the dime. Obiazor with the bucket. And a quick 4-0 start for the Eagles of Eden Prairie.
Finley holding up top, giving a lot of space. Will pull the trigger.
Foul, and that will send Helen Staley to the line.
And they're on the board.
Helen Staley knocking down the front end. She's done a lot of things in her athletic career, but she has never gone ice skating. Also takes part in track and field. Even though we're a hockey state, you know,
Yes.
not everyone has gone ice skating. Loose ball, and it's picked up, well, by nobody. Rosemount with the arrow. Ivory Finley backs off.
Skip pass almost taken away.
Taylor Janssen, the Montana State recruit. Leads the team in scoring. Staley can't get the friendly bounce.
And Nneka with the rebound.
Nice entry feed.
There's the
Natalie
hole in the
Mazurek
zone.
puts it in.
Forcing it down low, forces the turnover.
Bursch to Molly Lenz. Holloway. Out to Destiny Bursch. Now Holloway has it.
Dribble penetrates the zone. Loose ball. Picked up by Nneka Obiazor. Scoring.
Obiazor with 6 points. Finley steps into a three, no good.
Back iron again.
And a foul on Ivory Finley. I just noticed this a moment ago. Eden Prairie's roster is so big, they ran out of chairs.
We have 8 players sitting crisscross at the end of the bench.
Yes, find a seat wherever you can.
Well, they're also the biggest cheering section in the gym right now. Hearing them more than any of the fans below us. Eden Prairie being
Rudy Ruffin,
very patient.
She's not here, but did tell me you'll see a strong 6 on the floor. And look for the upperclassmen to lead, and they've got some leaders.
Reads the pass well, but can't force the turnover.
Bursch for 3. In and out.
Rosemount basketball.
Eagles with an 8-1 lead, but that could change in a hurry. This Rosemount team. They've only lost once this season. That came against Hopkins. Every other team, all W's.
Janssen gets to the rim but can't convert.
Rosemount ball. Now, Sam, something I'm keeping an eye on here, if my voice lasts long enough. Rosemount doesn't score a whole lot, just 61 points per game. EP, they have a few more offensive weapons, averaging 68.
A little bit more high scoring, yeah.
So I would think for Rosemount to win, they don't want to let the score get into 60s or 70s.
No, they really want to control the tempo, control the play, the pace of the game, and be choosy about their looks. That not being one of them. Tough layup.
And Rosemount has only scored 73 times this season, 70 or more that is. In comparison, Eden Prairie, they can run it up. They have 3 games in the 80s, all wins. Prior Lake, Chanhassen, and Lakeville North.
And the loose ball foul on number 22, Ivory Finley.
Eden Prairie, led by Ellen Weesey in her 3rd season with the Eagles, helped build Orono's program to a state tournament contender, and with most of her players, they got a state championship in 2016. Ellen took a year to coach alongside Ruth Sin at St. Thomas, and then came back to the high school ranks. Rosemount, nice backdoor play. And it's number 21, Alexa Ratzloff.
Rexa, according to her teammates.
Who got that last bucket for EP? Okay, it was Holloway.
Sorry?
It was Nia Holloway. My voice is starting to lose it, so my apologies if Sam and I can't hear each other, or if you can't hear me all that well.
It is also loud in here.
Well, yes, the Eden Prairie fan base. Well, you said most of that noise coming from the kids on the hardwood there.
Yeah, the end of the Eden Prairie bench.
And with this gym being so small, it just amplifies sound.
Oh, yeah. Taylor Janssen really plays that stretch 4 position. I haven't seen her down in the post yet on an offensive possession for Rosemount.
Destiny Burst steps into an elbow J, no good. Rebound is won by Larissa O'Neill.
2 good looks for her early. She'll get rolling. And here the Irish are doing just that, taking their time, working the ball around the perimeter, setting lots of screens, trying to control the tempo of this game. They can't seem to penetrate the paint, almost turn it over.
They do draw a foul on Savannah Jones, number 32.
Natalie Mazurek out for Allison Miranda, excuse me.
Miranda, number 34. Janssen for 3.
And that one's short.
It's interesting to see Rosemount play these long half-court sets, and they're trailing by 7.
Yeah, they had the ball there for about the last minute without getting a bucket.
I know you don't want to play outside your style, but at the same time, Eden Prairie, they've got the 7-point lead.
Yeah, point taken.
I might work with a little more haste. But we'll see.
Oh, the game's early. Stick to your strategy for...
And get a stop on defense, a 5-second call.
Alexa Ratzlaff running point here. Great backdoor cut. Finds her open. Taylor Janssen finishing the bucket.
And that's a play Rosemount needed. It's 10-5.
And just as I mentioned, there she is finding the paint.
Foul on the Irish. Nneka Obiazor, the senior, she will play at Youngstown State next season.
Backside help. Great defense from the Irish. That would have been number 31, Larissa O'Neill, forcing that turnover. New lineups on the court here after the dead ball.
Quick moving game. 10-5, and we're already at the 7:25 mark. Count it!
And one.
Larissa O'Neill with a chance for a 4-point play.
Oh, she earned it. She forced a turnover on the other end.
Larissa O'Neill, big time bucket.
And converts.
Larissa O'Neill, get this, holds a 2nd-degree black belt in karate. Also takes part in volleyball, lacrosse, band, the National Honor Society, and the Spanish National Honor Society.
Coach Orr says she is the one that makes this team work.
And just like that, it's a 1-point game. Rosemount scoring the last 6.
Well, they dominated possession there, made a couple of fine defensive stops, and we're pretty much back at the start of this game.
Well, 3-point shooting is no stranger with Larissa O'Neill. She set a school record in the season opener, hitting 9 triples.
Well, that must have been fun to watch.
That was an 83-57 win over Waconia at the Tip-Off Classic. So, Larissa O'Neill.
Season, yeah.
Yes.
Watch out for a couple more open looks for her.
That was Rosemount's highest scoring game of the year. Again, though, that is not their style traditionally. Molly Lenz. Out to Allison Miranda.
Looking for the post up. Didn't have the pass angle.
Miranda has
Try
it.
again. There it is.
Number 32.
And the
Jones.
block from behind. Helen Staley with the defensive play.
Can Rosemount translate that into points? They have scored the last 6.
Janssen picks up her dribble, is in trouble.
Three on the way. That would have been big for Rosemount. Rebound goes to Mazurek.
Lenz pushing the pace. Pump fake, turns around, can't complete it.
Nice move by Molly Lenz. It did everything but go in. Eden Prairie, of course, you know them for football. They do well in a lot of other sports, lacrosse, hockey. boys basketball, the top-ranked team in the state in Class 4A. And the girls produced a couple of Gophers recruits for a time, Jackie Johnson and Shea Mullaney. Back when Chris Carr was the head coach, offensive foul on Nneka Obiazor.
The offensive foul called, going the other way. That's the second foul on Nneka Obiazor.
Ellen Weesey came in, said she wanted to coach a big school, and much like she did at Orono, she's helping the Eagles rebuild to contender status.
Over there having a conversation with the ref.
Rosemount oh so close to retaking the lead.
Oh, a bad pass out of Destiny Bursch there.
Helen Staley. Lost
Staley
it.
stripped.
Destiny Bursch with the steal. Obiazor can't control it.
Loose ball picked up by Alexa Ratzlaff. Some great discipline here from Rosemount, really looking for their shot.
They get it.
And stays.
Dead ball rebound to Rosemount.
Got a great open look for Nicole O'Neill there.
Well, in an era, Sam, where so many teams push the pace. Hopkins, Stillwater, Wayzata, St. Michael Albertville. It's interesting to see a team like Rosemount take advantage of the fact that there's no shot clock and run a lot of screens and just run screen after screen after screen to eat up time.
I think that says even something more about the discipline when this Eagles team obviously wants to play a little bit faster, and they're saying, no, we're going to stay at home. We're going to do our thing on offense. We're going to take our time, find our look. Double team comes, and she traveled.
And that's the risk you run sometimes. Now, Rosemount, one part of it, they couldn't get inside, but when you run those sets, I've noticed this. Rosemount, one exception, but if you run a set that goes beyond 30, 35 seconds, players can sometimes lose track of things.
Yeah, lose track of where you need to be on the court, lose track of the next cut or screen to set, lose track of how many seconds you've been in the lane.
Bursch thought about it. Here's Holloway. Through her defender.
Nice finish.
Holloway put her defender on the floor. Literally.
Oh, Destiny Bursch thought that was only ball.
That puts EP in the penalty. So Helen Staley to the line for two.
Bursch's second foul there.
Staley averaging 10.2 a game, as you noted in the open, Sam. A balanced attack with Rosemount.
Yeah, it's especially interesting when you noted how most of their games are lower scoring to have four starters in that double-figure average.
Molly Lenz on the drive, nothing doing. Here's Mira Morjani. Miranda. Up. Can't bank it. Ellen Staley out to Taylor Janssen. Fires the three. Got it.
Rattles it home.
And Rosemount takes their first lead. Holloway with the answer. You bet.
And the foul. Holloway, the hot hand for Eden Prairie right now.
Nia Holloway. She sleeps a lot and can do so for a really long time. The longest she's slept is 15 hours. It's not uncommon for her to sleep till 12 or 1 if she has nothing on her schedule. And she's also involved in track and field. Does the relays and the high jump.
Some of the statistics and information we get from the Breakdown Media magazine are fun tidbits. 15 hours of sleep. Sounds nice.
I'm lucky if I get 7. Look out, Ellen. We see she took cover.
Well corralled by Nicole O'Neill.
Traveling call. 1:59 left in the first half. 14-13 our score in a quick-moving game.
Very different game situation than the prior 2 matchups we saw. Low-scoring first half here.
Well, part of it is just the way Rosemount runs their offense.
What a great steal, Gianna Frecken.
Larissa O'Neill, I think
Nia
that was
Holloway
yes.
comes from out of nowhere for the swat.
Well, she's not sleeping now, is she?
No, wide awake.
No, don't sleep on Holloway. I'll show myself out.
There it is.
I knew that. You knew that was coming.
One shot.
With the way Rosemount runs their offense, that wouldn't surprise me.
Ooh, good backdoor.
1 minute to go. Oh, they go for the entry pass, and that was tipped by Morjani. Mazurek with the steal, and ball was poked away.
Good hands to poke that away. She was the last one back after making the wild pass and saved an easy bucket. Well defended.
Yeah, and you're not the only one who got wind of Nia Holloway's out-of-nowhere block. Three, bullseye. Allison Miranda with the first field goal.
One of the coaches on the Rosemount bench, as soon as she touched the ball, said, "Shoot her!" And the defense was not there to close out.
That pushes the Eagles' lead back to 4 over the Irish.
It will be one shot now, 14-13. That's a push.
There won't be any shot because free throws are coming.
I mean,
so that will send Taya Leendertz to the line. Lendertz, that's how you pronounce it. Her friends call her Taisha and Tay-Tay, and her other sports, tennis and track and field, but she leaves that possession empty. Eagles with a chance for an exclamation point. They won't get it. Good defense by Rosemount. Well, we've got ourselves more of a football score at the half than a basketball score. So Rosemount instilling the tempo they want, but it's Eden Prairie who's up by 4.
yeah, and it's just a couple of possessions. That's all the difference here, and I would give some of that credit to Nia Holloway. She was a hot hand for a couple of buckets in a row and then made the big defensive play, and, well, there's your difference in score.
So far, yes, with Holloway at 6, Obiazor with 6. We'll see what happens in the second half when we return. This is the MLK Fury Classic at St. Catherine University.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Mike Peden and Sam Wagner, one more half to go in this Minnesota Fury MLK Classic at the Butler Center here at St. Catherine University. Not a lot of points. 17-13 is our score at the half. But Sam, before we went to break, you noted Nia Holloway, the difference maker so far. How is she standing out?
Oh, both on the offensive end and on the defensive end. She's been moving her feet. She made a couple of really nice drives, dribble drives from the wing in the first half. I expect that if she's the hot hand, they'll be looking for her here in the second half a little bit more. For Rosemount, I think the story is if you want to play the slow game, you have to take advantage of each and every possession. There can't be the wasted possession. There were a couple of passes thrown over the head of a post player or loose balls that they weren't able to pick up. And if you're playing the slow game, you got to take advantage.
And as you noted, that is a risk you take when you play a slower tempo. But 18 minutes is a long time.
Yes, it could be a very different half.
Oh,
what a pump fake.
And that's good for Eden Prairie. Every basket they get puts a little more pressure on Rosemount.
Molly Lenz showing off a little bit of why her teammates refer to her as Mollywood.
Ivory Finley with a three-point foliage.
Okay, we might be in for a different half here. 2 quick buckets. Definitely waiting for Destiny Bursch to get a little more involved here on the offensive end for Eden Prairie. Slow half for her.
And throughout this game, we've been talking about styles. I don't know what levels you coach, but how do you approach the game?
Oh, it really depends on the set of players you have here. I think that Rosemount, they are playing a slow game, and I think I see why. I mean, you've got a stretch forward, play inside and outside, and Taylor Janssen.
Helen Staley, contested jumper goes in.
And Helen Staley shows that she's got a little bit of range as well.
Molly Lenz, no good.
Trying the same move twice.
Obiazor gets the push off.
Some powerful basketball down low there. Rosemount's coach doesn't like it at all.
Still pleading his case, and I was surprised nothing was called there. There was quite a bit of contact.
I don't think she lowered the shoulder.
That's true. It's a break for Obiazor nonetheless, and she took advantage of it. That's the important thing if you're Eden Prairie.
And she had the first few buckets of the game, but was quiet for the most of the second half of the first half.
High-low and Taylor Leendertz will shoot too. Taya, as we said before, Taisha and Tay are her nicknames. A first-year tennis player also takes part in track and field. Now tennis, one of the more unusual crossover sports for these athletes, but I did talk to a couple of players this season who also take part in tennis, and they tell me it helps with lateral footwork.
Yeah, that was, you took the words out of my mouth. That was what I was going to say. I think that though it seems unnatural at first, there are some things that play to an athlete's benefit playing in each basketball and tennis. Height does help a certain amount on the service game, and it's a lot of fine footwork, and a lot of these basketball players really focus on that.
Here's Bursch.
Looking for it.
Out to Holloway. Holloway scores.
And she's got the tough matchup there against Taylor Janssen. A little bit of height advantage for Janssen, but Nia Holloway is showing some real skill in this one.
Finley.
There's Destiny Bursch coming up on the defensive end with a big steal.
Obiazor with the layup.
Good touch. She really sealed her position well on that one.
5-point game. Finley on the other end.
Rosemount sets their under the basket play up.
Five-point lead for the Irish. And as you said, coming out of the break, you can't afford turnovers when you don't run as many possessions as most teams would.
Yes. Costly, that. Oh, and guess who was there for the offensive board only to throw it away? It was Holloway.
And Rosemount takes advantage. Lendertz with the layup, timeout. 13:53. Rosemount calls the timeout. Makes you wonder why you would call timeout after a momentum-turning play like that, but
yeah,
it's been neck and neck all game.
It has been. They've whittled the lead down 1 point since half, but everybody's scoring a little easier here. I do wonder, but setting up maybe a new defensive set, who knows?
Well, long way to go. Taya Lendertz, one of those double-digit scores on the season, 10.8 points per game. Her season high, 25. And again, those numbers may surprise you for a team that doesn't score a lot like Rosemount, but those 25 points came in a win over conference rival Burnsville, Rosemount in the South Suburban. And their conference features a lot of section foes. Apple Valley, Eastview, Lakeville North got moved into the group. And Lakeville North, with Lauren Jensen, could be a force. The two teams have not met yet. And for those who are curious, the first meeting will take place January 24th, the second, February 21st. And with Eastview struggling and Burnsville, Apple Valley kind of in the middle of the pack, Rosemount, Lakeville North could be the series that serves as a preview of the section final.
Well, and that February 21st game being the final game of the regular season, who knows, it might be consequential.
And in 3A and 4A, the sections are decided by coaches' vote. So a win over Lakeville North. They already have a win over Farmington, so you would think Rosemount already has the inside track to the 1 seed. And when you look at their QRF, they're well ahead of the pack. But if Lakeville North is able to make a run, and they got a big win over Burnsville, Timeout Eden Prairie. So Rosemount already has the inside track to the 1 seed. Eden Prairie's group, we covered a Section 2 team earlier today in Chaska. That field could be a mess. You take a look at the top 4.
Yeah, Chaska at 11-4, Minnetonka 9-5, and then Eden Prairie at 7-8.
I have to correct you. Chaska's
teams.
12-4 now.
Yes, 12-4. Yes, after the win this afternoon.
And Shakopee, they won the group last year, sitting at 9-5. They beat Chaska earlier this season. They've got some quality wins. Prior Lake just knocked off Holy Angels.
And Edina does stand tied with an overall record with Eden Prairie at 7-8 as well.
There is a lot
of steep competition.
Right.
Nice. I was wondering there, Nia Holloway had a touch earlier in this possession, and with
she got a touch right there.
Yeah, she gets the bucket. I was just going to say I was surprised she didn't attack on the first touch she had during the possession, as Janssen's taken a seat. The height advantage or disadvantage in Holloway's case isn't so dramatic with the current lineups on the floor.
Holloway's a real sleeper, isn't she? I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. Oh, wow.
And there's Destiny Bursch.
And this matches the largest lead of the game for the Eagles.
Stretched it to 7.
Well, if our schedule plays out, Rosemount gets a bucket down low, Ivory Finley. If our schedule plays out, I'm scheduled to do the Eden Prairie Stillwater game on Valentine's Day, and I'm going to have a whole lot of sleepy one-liners ready to go. I'll never be allowed back at EP.
That should be a good matchup.
Eden Prairie Stillwater, it was last year.
Yeah.
And it should be this year. Bursch.
A little off balance.
Right, and with a double team, contested jumper, just a tough position to be in.
5-point lead. I don't know why you don't pull that one out in that case, but retained possession, who cares? Little reset.
Eden Prairie last played on Thursday. They lost to Hopkins 77-59. Held with them in the first half, but not so much in the second half.
And guess who tracks down the offensive board? Nia Holloway. Having herself a game.
Nia Holloway, that's a name I've heard a lot over the last couple of years, and I'm understanding why.
Yeah.
More Johnny to Bursch. Mid-range J, swish. And Bursch up to 4 points. Bursch with 1 double-double in points and assists. That came against Edina. 8 assists or more in 4 games. Janssen for 3, no good. And I can understand why you'd like to see more out of Bursch. She has 11 or more in the last 4 games. That streak may be in jeopardy, if only because of the way this pace has been played.
It's been a slow game for her, but the teammates have been picking up the slack.
Especially Nia Holloway.
A lot of arm on that one. Sends Myra Morjani to the line.
Morjani. Doesn't have a profile on the breakdown.
First one. Morjani as well as Holloway are both sophomores on this team. Making some serious contributions in this one, the sophomore squad.
And with that, the Eagles have their largest lead of the game. And when we discussed this earlier today, this game, indicative of this, outside of Hopkins, just so much parity. And there's Holloway and number 32, Savannah Jones, teaming up to stop Taylor Janssen. But so much parity. You know, Rosemount coming off a big win over Farmington last week. Here's Eden Prairie, a team that has had some big wins, some strange losses, but they're playing well.
Yeah, definitely showing some strength here.
And free throws coming for Maya Morjani. Well, Morjani doesn't have a profile in the breakdown, but there's some others in here.
She's averaging 7.5 points a game with a season high of 17. 33% from deep, 12 for 36 on the year from the three-point arc. And pretty reliable at the free throw line. Showing it right now.
Yeah, when you look down the line for EP, as Morjani is 4 for 4 from the line. Molly Lenz 72%, Missouric 81, Morjani 76, so they've got some shooters. And with Morjani at 4 for 4, those numbers will go up. She was 19 of 25 going in.
Oh, I love the hustle play. Everybody on the floor for the loose ball.
And EP has been slowly building up the lead as a result. We should point that out. But another player that comes to mind, Alexis Pratt. Last year shot in the mid-60s. Now she's shooting in the 80s. Free throws can make a difference.
Oh, big time.
Lendertz will shoot 2.
Oh. I think I'm making the same face as Nia Holloway right now. Maybe I'm a big fan at the moment, but
it's hard not to like her hustle, her grit, and just how she has made an impression in this game.
I agree. I also think she might have had her hand straight up on that one, but here we are at the free throw line.
Lendertz gets the front end to drop. A split at the line. Not what you want if you're Rosemount, trying to work their way back from 10 down. Well, let's see. We'll find out how well they can play from behind.
Now, I wonder if Eden Prairie's the team that's going to start to slow the pace of this game. Not so much on that possession, but with the 12-point advantage with 8 minutes to go, I would guess they might.
Well, the difference in this game, I think, is inside penetration. EP getting a lot of it with Obiazor, Holloway, and that last bucket by Savannah Jones.
Yeah.
And now they get the ball.
And Rosemount's got some size. I'd like to see them try and attack that paint a little more.
Molly Lenz. This could be a potential dagger play for the Eagles if they can get points out of this possession. There's Holloway. Can't get the bounce.
Not that time.
If Rosemount's got to run, it's got to come soon. And that's not going to help.
Tough break. It was a good cut. She was open.
Another chance for the Eagles to take a commanding lead. Burst for 3. Rosemount with another chance. Well, Chris Orr was looking forward to this matchup, as tough as Eden Prairie is. And when you look at their schedule, Eden Prairie's losses, maybe the most unusual one was De La Salle, but all the other teams they lost to are top 10 teams in 4A. So they played with the best. They haven't always beaten the best.
Oh, well played.
But they're looking real sharp tonight.
Yeah.
Savannah Jones scores again.
Yeah.
Timeout, Rosemount.
Stop the bleeding.
As we said, Eden Prairie, that 7-8 record, not a reliable indicator of their potential.
Yeah, the strength of schedule for them has been something. But, I mean, 10-0 right there for them in the last 3 minutes or so. It was 29-25. Now here we are in the break at 39-25. They've got a lot of skill.
Well, and their schedule, as you said, almost a murderous row. They're in the lake, so Hopkins, St. Michael, Albertville, Wayzata are teams they've got to contend with twice. Their non-conference schedule included Lakeville North, St. Louis Park, Chaska. They'll get Stillwater later in the season, Rosemount tonight, Park Center, Centennial, Maple Grove. All of those teams are either in the top 10 or have been in the top 10 at some point of the season.
Yeah.
And they may be an underdog in Section 2. Well, whoever gets out of there, we know Hopkins will be the heavy favorite to win the whole thing. But you can see why they are in that conversation. And that's why I said earlier, Section 2 4A is just an absolute mess.
It's just stacked.
As far as who's going to get out of there. Chaska, we saw them. They look real good. Minnetonka, they're 10-5. They picked up a big win today over Buffalo. They're building up with that young core. And Shakopee, don't forget about them. Doing real well with a young group. Well, that was a badly needed triple for the Irish. Taylor Janssen goes up to 8 there.
Just in the nick of time. And the Irish put on a full court press, and it pays off right away. Destiny Bursch with the over and back turnover.
As we said, we're going to find out how Rosemount plays from behind. They've only lost once to Hopkins. And they've had some close ones, but
well, if they can keep up the pressure.
I'm going to say Eden Prairie, one of those teams that can hang with them. Farmington as well. And Rosemount got a win over Shakopee. So
nice little
some quality wins for the
layup.
Irish and a quality drive by Helen Staley. Now that makes it a 9-point game. Here comes the pressure again.
And they're doing this zone pressure, but how quickly they got into it right after the made basket. That's
timeout Eden Prairie.
great energy and hustle.
And
Eden Prairie gets out of one.
that shift in defense starting to rattle Eden Prairie here.
Yeah, they ran 2 or 3 possessions, and Eden Prairie's decided to call a timeout to see how they can better deal with that.
5:51 left in the game. And with this timeout, a reminder that if you want to support long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes, from the Prets to the pros, check us out at patreon.com/TSB Television, paypal.me/TSB Television, or Cash App, simply TSB Television. And I promise my voice will not sound this hoarse the next time we meet. But hey, we've had some exciting games, exciting action. Maybe not the greatest of matchups that we thought, but we've seen some great play today. We're seeing 2 teams that could be in the state tournament. And I'd say this matchup, maybe not as, I'm not, if I can get the words out, I'm not used to this low level of scoring, but it's still fun nonetheless.
Yeah, it's been tense. It's been strategic. Both teams are playing pretty well. It's not the barn burner that we maybe had hoped for or dreamed for. But
it won't be like this tomorrow with Hopkins Wayzata, I can tell you that.
No. They know how to score points fast.
Oh, I can't wait. I saw them in the win over Park Center. I covered them in the win over Farmington. Hopkins, they run the floor.
And they run it well.
It sounds like you've watched some tape.
Oh, yeah. When there's a standout athlete, well, really standout team in your state, you got to pay attention.
There's a reach-in foul. Now, here's something interesting. With the way this game has been played, both teams still have 3 fouls to give, so Rosemount, they're going to have to foul 3 more times if they try to play foul and chase.
Yeah, if they want to slow the game down, later on, it would be smart to pick up a few now.
Big time drive by Maya Morjani. And even though Holloway and Obiazor lead with 10, I'd say some of Eden Prairie's clutch plays have come from the bench. Jones, Morjani in particular.
And there's another bucket for Helen Staley.
That puts her up to 8 with 5 minutes to go.
Rosemount should take the hint, start to feed the hot hand, hopefully. Good defensive pressure. Morjani in trouble.
And that means Rosemount has 2 fouls to give. Now, the good news is no one's in any kind of foul trouble yet. So you have a lot of fouls you can absorb.
Well, and it wasn't Rosemount in foul trouble in the first half. It was Eden Prairie in
That's what I was getting at.
the 8, yes. Oh, nice little floater, Mollywood.
Molly Lenz. Molly Lenz, her favorite food is ramen noodles, and as you said earlier, her nickname, Mollywood. Janssen, open, you bet.
Good control. Reeled in a little high pass and controlled it well.
Taylor Janssen has a twin sister, also plays lacrosse at Rosemount. Ivory Finley hit with her 3rd foul. 1 foul left to give for the Irish. Ivory Finley has a theater arts background. Used to participate in choir and took part in a few plays as well.
Cool.
So she's got some acting chops.
Awesome.
I suppose with a name like Ivory Finley.
Yeah.
that
Future movie star.
right.
Yeah.
Ivory Finley just blends so nicely with entertainment. And now she picks up her 4th foul. They're putting them up on the board now, which makes it easier for us. So Rosemount, it looks like they're going to play the foul and chase game here.
Well, at this point, better to have the fouls. Oh, another nice move.
But they have not found an answer for folks like Obiazor.
Yeah, she does that move really quick. That's nice. And corrals the rebound.
A chance for EP to put this one away. Obiazor, yes!
Oh, crossover finish. What a move. The bench is on their feet.
You can see that next year at Youngstown State.
That's where Nneka has elected to go play.
Yes.
Outstanding. Congratulations.
Obiazor, 1 double-double. She's 500 or better in 10 games. Nia Holloway with the steal. Goodbye. Holloway with 2 double-doubles, and she might sleep past noon in the offseason, but when it comes to the court, she takes no plays off. No napping for Nia Holloway.
Not at all. She made the big block earlier, and that was quite the steal. Waited for the crossover, poked it loose, picked it up, and took the easy 2.
And Nia Holloway, just a sophomore, so Eden Prairie, Ellen Weesey has done a terrific job building up this program, and they're going to have a lot of talent over the next couple of years.
Yeah, the Eden Prairie roster is pretty deep. They've got a few graduating seniors, but obviously some real young underclass talent.
Ellen Weesey said Holloway is going to have a breakout season. Well, 9 points per game, I don't know how you define breakout, but she's having a breakout performance here.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, this is an excellent sampling of her game, but even at 9 points, 9 points a game here this season, at the high school level, that's nothing to shake a stick at.
Ellen Weesey considers her one of the best athletes in the state with a combination of speed and vertical. And some other fun facts about Eden Prairie. Natalie Mazurek, originally from Chicago. That's where she was born. And Molly Lenz, we mentioned Mollywood Ramen Noodles. Destiny Bursch, her nickname is Dest. Not a woman of many words, but she and the rest of the Eagles have done a lot of talking with their clutch play in the second half.
Yes, exactly. Saving it for the court.
Well, as the saying goes, put your money where your mouth is. And let's be fair, Rosemount, they are a strong team. So don't take this performance as a sign that they're overrated. They
No.
beat Farmington.
Well, with 13-1 record.
Right.
Yeah.
They've only lost to Hopkins up until tonight. They will be a team to watch in Section 3. And I can't wait for that Lakeville North series.
Yeah, that'll be excellent.
Obiazor to Holloway. The two hot hands hooking up.
Very cohesive offensive sequence.
I knew this Eden Prairie team was good. I saw them a year ago. And again, they may be the strongest sub-500 team. Well, it won't be that way after tonight.
Nope, they will get their 8-8 record here.
You know, there are some other teams where you look at their records and kind of wonder, well, who did you beat? Eden Prairie, they're 7-8, but look who they played.
Yeah.
Holloway with the block.
Another
She is
big
everywhere.
block. What a defensive player.
She
Wow.
is everywhere. I don't know if I'm going to have a voice left for the postgame, Sam, but you might have to get a word with her.
Well, that was an outstanding block, but a few passes before she was able to make the block. We should give some credit to another defender who's impressed me throughout this game. Myra Morjani had closed out in the corner. She stayed down on her feet. She didn't fall for the pump fake. She forced her assignment to make a pass and let her teammate Holloway get another big block.
What a game for Nia Holloway. 14 points.
Handfuls of blocks and steals.
Big second half for the Eagles. Obiazor with the rebound. It just can't be stopped. And the crazy thing about Nia Holloway, as we said, 9 points per game. She's only broken double digits 5 times until tonight, now 6.
Put that good.
I think that was Gianna Frecking.
Number
Too
3,
little, too
Gianna
late
Frecking.
for the Irish, though. Big win for the Eagles. And they're not done.
And the bench is on their feet.
And you know what? Who I'm going to give credit to for this win? Those 8 kids that have been riding the hardwood, not the
Yeah.
bench. They don't care. They're getting a front row seat to some fine basketball, and so have we throughout the day here. Eden Prairie just taking over in the second half. Rosemount, of course, they'll learn from this. As we said, 13-1. They had only lost to Hopkins. A bunch of quality wins. This will be a good test or a good learning experience for the Irish. But playing from behind, that's difficult to do with the style of play they implement.
Yeah.
That's not to say it's impossible, but it just puts more emphasis on efficiency, and Eden Prairie would not allow that to happen.
Well, yeah, and earlier in the second half, they were showing some real flashes of ability. They were using that zone press to force a couple of turnovers. Eden Prairie called that timeout and adapted to the press well.
Right, let's not forget that.
Sort of changed the game situation for the Irish. But there was a moment here, 8 minutes, 7 minutes to go, where they were very much in this game.
And if these teams were to meet again, it could end up in a much different situation. But Eden Prairie, all I know this, I'm looking forward to that Valentine's Day game with Stillwater.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting one.
And you've got to see a couple teams out of Section 2. Now you know why it's a murderer's row to get out of.
Yeah, really a lot of steep competition in Section 2 now.
Well, for comparison's sake, Eden Prairie, they play Chaska. That one, the Hawks won by 13. But it's Eden Prairie who wins tonight, 53-38. Nia Holloway and Nneka Obiazor with 14. I guess it's fitting that those two matched in points because they had an equal influence in the outcome of this one.
Yeah, both really played outstanding. Both ends of the court, offensively and defensively, front to back of the game. Really excellent play from the two of them.
And Rosemount, they've got a lot of talent. This will be a good learning experience for them. What do they need to do moving forward?
Well, I think if they can control the pace of the game, and they showed that ability early on, they put themselves in a good position each game they're out there. This will be something they can learn from playing from behind, but that style of play will serve them well.
Well, you and I had a lot of fun with this, Sam, I imagine, unless you were real bored this whole time. No. Great to have.
Lots of great basketball.
Right, great to talk hoops with someone who understands the game as well as you do. And we'll have to bring you back for some other games.
Yeah, it was great to be a
St.
sub.
Paul.
I know you and Latoya always do a great job, but if you ever need a hand, I'm happy to step in.
Well, we're glad to have you, and we thank all of you for watching our coverage of the Minnesota Fury MLK Classic. Another one is in the books. The Eagles knock off the Irish 53-38. They go to 8-8. Rosemount goes to 13-2. Thank you for watching high school girls basketball on the TSB Television YouTube channel.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves,
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
game winners,
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot. It goes in.
and everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
And joining me is Nia Holloway, one of the 14-point scorers for the Eagles. Nia, I was doing some research, and when you don't have anything going on, I understand you like to sleep past noon.
Yes.
But when it comes to your play on the court, you don't take any naps, any snoozes. You don't doze off. You go at it hard. You did that tonight. What would you make of your effort?
I would say that it's a big tribute to how I practice. Like in practice, I try not to take any reps off so that I can practice exactly how I play.
First half, a low-scoring one. Not sure you guys are used to that. Second half, I think you did a great job establishing the tempo. What did Ellen talk to you about, and how do you think you adjusted?
I think in the beginning it was just a really big defensive struggle. Like we took a really long time to get to know like the people on Rosemount and what they were gonna do. So that's what we were mostly focusing on. And our offense was a little bit sloppy at the beginning, but once we came out in the second half, we really made sure to attack the rim.
And not only that, you adapted real well when Rosemount tried to bring some pressure. Your coach called a timeout, and then you got things back to normal, if you will. What do you think it is about this team that allows them to adapt as quickly as they can?
I think we can do it just because of the versatility that we have on our team. Like we're a larger team, but we're also really quick and long, so that if like they're applying pressure, then we know how to like find the open hole and get it over the top to like our bigger players.
And even though you're not the top scorer on your team, you can contribute in just about every facet. Points, steals, rebounds. We saw you getting after it. You had that block from out of nowhere that got everyone's attention. What is it about you that gives you that drive to contribute the way you do for Eden Prairie?
I guess for me, it's just always striving to get better. Like, I'm never going to, like, if I have a good game, then I'm going to be like, okay, I had a good game, take some positive takeaways away from it, and then get to the next game so I can play even better than I did last one.
Something that Sam and I noted, that you might be the best 500 team in the state when you look at the teams you've played. What do you learn from games like that? I know you won't like to win maybe more often than you have, but I have to imagine playing several top 10 teams, you've learned a lot too.
Yes, we have. In our game against Wayzata, I think we just, when we're playing a better team, we tend to adapt to the way they play so that we can really focus on them and how their weaknesses will help us win.
Well, and you've got more on the way with the Lake Conference and Stillwater among the others, but a lot of fun tonight. You want to say hi to anybody?
Hi to anybody?
Yeah, you want to say hi to anyone?
Hi anybody that's watching this. I'm on the camera, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I don't know if you watch The Price is Right, but that's where I got it from. Drew Carey does that with all of his contestants. But, well, congrats on the win. Congrats on your performance. And it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see you guys again, and we'll see what happens as the season moves along.
Thank you so much.
That's Nia Holloway from the Eden Prairie Eagles, and that wraps up our coverage here from the Butler Center at St. Catherine University. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thanks for watching.